How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video, and once again I'm here with ScrubGames, and this time we're going over a cube draft update for Realm of the Gods. So the next set coming out is set 16 Realm of the Gods, and been having a look at it to see what good additions can come to the cube, what would be handy, what could be good to add, and I've got a nice little list now to go over. So if you're looking to update your cube, if you've got one for set 16 when it comes out, here are some good suggestions to add to it, to update it, or even like switch cards out, or even just add if you want to increase the size of it. So going to start off, going by color. Unfortunately, with this set, with the black cards, most of them were like color locked to needing black energy, which in cube really isn't great. Like black's more of a support color, same as with like multicolors, allowing you to go between multiple colors easier. So, and unfortunately in set 16 there is no generic black cards that would be handy and would be useful, I feel, in the set 16. If you would disagree with that, feel free to comment below and let me know why, and we'll have to get a conversation going about it. So going into it, we'll start with the red cards. So with the red cards, we have, first of all, we've got some new skillless cards. We've got Son Goku, and I might as well show the next one, which is a Vegeta. So given that there's like a few more Universe 7 cards and skillless plays into it, I feel these could be good additions to either replace some skillless you've already got in there, or just add to it if you want to increase the size of skillless, because they work for any Saiyan archetype, and also, well, any archetype for Saiyans that can be any color, and also for the red Universe 7 stuff. Like recently we've been getting some red Universe stuff for red, and which have been good additions. Like in the previous one we've had like we had the red Gohan that could search for these, as well as unisons and some other stuff. So I feel it could be, if you want to put in make in your cube a more or a bigger Universe 7 pool like theme, these would be good additions for skillless. And then we've got another one for that as well, as super combo for it. So and we have Frieza Universe 7 combination. So this is a good one because it's Sparking 5. Sometimes it's nice to have a like a switch between leaders that need 4 life or less and sparking, because they can be used differently. Like if you end up drafting a leader that can't awaken very well, and you don't get it to draft enough self-awakeners, then you're gonna maybe want some sparking super combos to help you set yourself or actually be able to use them. Because the good thing with this, if you can just drop cards, which if you're picking like some of the best cards in the cube, which is the 1-drops from set, I think it was 9. Yeah, set 9, which allow you to drop a drop a card, and draw a card. It's like for your deck quicker. These can set up this quite easily, and it's just really nice to have some of these sparking ones. I think red has the most, I think, for sparking ones. And this also, as I said once again, was for Frieza Clan and Universe 7. I don't think there's much Frieza Clan support, but at least for Universe 7 adds a bit more to that. So I think it's a good addition for it. And being a Frieza card means it goes with the Frieza cards that searchability from that as well. And then we have the next one, we have SSB Vegeta for Universe Survival. So this is more barrier removal, and a pretty nice card, because remember, for a cube draft, you're not always cheating out cards quite easily. Sometimes it's fairly safe to play cards with the printed cost, which is one of the things I find more refreshing with playing cube draft. And Vegeta is a good one for that, because it's got deflect as well, which means it's not being prevented by the very few cat plays in the format. It also has critical, which is nice pressure, and it's got some good effects. I think there might be a Universe 7 leader in my cube. I'm not sure. I can't remember off by heart. But it doesn't matter if you don't only pay it for that effect. If you can pay it by that effect, that's still pretty good. And because it only requires a monocolor Universe 7, so it's not restricted to red monocolor Universe 7. Any color leader that has Universe 7 trait, it could work with. So you could potentially pull it off with anyone if there is one in there. But it's more as auto. It's a 20k forecast, and its auto effect is when this card is played, draw 1 card, then choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and minus 15k of them. So that's quite nice. So if your opponent's got cards that they don't want to get rid of, like some people leave up some cantrips or some 1-drops that just keep drawing cards and gaining them advantage in active mode, and this is a good way to remove them. And given that it's only got a 2 specified red cost, it means it's not too difficult to play even if you're not doing mono. If you're doing multicolor, it's not too difficult to pull off. And then we have the last red card that I feel is going to be useful, because most of the red was very archetype focused, so a lot of U7 ones that needed sparking and like a specific kind of leader and stuff. So there's not many red cards in this update, but each colour did get a Realm of the Gods Ultra Instinct. Well, sorry, a Realm of the Gods extra card, and this one was Ultra Instinct. And all you need is your leader card and a 1 energy to be red, and it doesn't matter if they're not mono red as long as they have red in them, so you can still pull this off if you have a multicolour deck with a majority of red. So it's still playable, and it's got some really good effects as well. It's got an effect for both your turn and your opponent's turn, and it's like having a second copy, in a sense almost, like the ISRs, the infinite attack rares that we got in set 9 as well. So I feel these are good 5 good additions from set 16 for red. And now going on into blue, we have Sun Gohan Harness Power. So this is almost like the one we have from back in, I think, set 2, I think it might have been. The combo the play cards we got, like every colour got a combo the play card. I don't think black did, because black didn't exist at the time. But it's a nice one of those combo the play cards, but this one is like the rest of them, locked to the same colour leader as they are. So this one's locked to blue. But the difference being with this one is that it's a 5k combo, 0 cost 5k combo, rather than a 1 cost 10k combo. So you can combo even if you're tapped out. But if you do want to get the effect, you do have to have blue energy, because it also requires 1 blue as the cost, and your leader being a blue leader. It it also has like some nice interactions, where if you get that 6 drop Trunks from back in the same set or set 3, which can combo blue cards when it attacks from the drop area, this can be played if comboed from the hand or drop area, so it's pretty good. And then we have blue got quite a few. Well, blue is gaining up now on the Self Awakeners, because it was mostly with the other colours having Self Awakeners that had double strike, critical, and things like that. Blue is catching up, but they're not as great as the other ones, because the other ones where they attack, take a life, they go up to 15k, plus they get skills like critical, double strike, things like that. And blue just isn't getting them. Like I think it now has one of each now, but it is getting more of these Self Awakener cards, but they're not gaining many skills that are impactful or as devastating. Like with this Gohan is one of them, where it goes at 15k with the first auto, but instead of getting a skill or anything, it's got another auto, where at the end of your turn it switches to active mode, meaning it's harder to attack because it's now inactive. And same can be said for the next one, being SS Trunks the Interceptor. It does the same thing where it take a life when it attacks, you go up to 15k, but then as ever a part of the effect is at the end of your turn you switch it to one of your mono blue energy to active mode, meaning that you can get back that energy, you can play this, swing to basically help yourself get awakened if need be, and then untap the mono blue energy if that's what you have rested at the moment. So as you get your energy back for playing it, so it almost becomes like a pseudo free. Another good card for blue is SS Vegeta the Interceptor. So we're getting more cards that have like a heavy specified cost, and Vegeta is one of them. I think in the last few ones we've had things like, I'm trying to think now, I know there's the Great Saiyaman one that had a free specified cost and was a very good card because it had Barrier, Deflect, Blocker, and Revenge, and then had the effect of if it KOs the opponent's card, it gets to untap and untap an energy as well. And it's like a really good effect, but a high specified cost, meaning it's harder to play like if you're not playing in mono or heavier in that colour. And SFG does the same thing. It's a dual attack 20k, free cost with free specified blue, but it's nice in the fact that you can use it as a counter, so if you can attack, like if you need to get an attack off, like try and push, but your opponent counters and you have no other battle cards on the board, you can use counter to get this on board, because as long as your leader card is blue, you play this card. And it's got a very nice auto that is helpful for controlling the game as well. When this card is played, you can choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of your opponent's decks in any order. Now in Cube there's not too much of an issue with Barrier being a problem. There's like Barrier removal, it just depends how you draft, but this is a nice card to help remove things that people keep on board to help gain advantage by like using energy to draw and things like that. And then we have another super combo in blue, being Videl the Interceptor. This one is a good choice because not only is it just a blue super combo, but also it gives itself the Saiyan tag in all areas as well. So it gets that if it's searchable, it's more searchable than say just if it was just an Earthling or things like that. and it could be useful, and is even handy for attacking because it's a 15k super combo as well. So if you need to get an attack off, but you need to play a card, this can be used. And then we have once again, the third, I think, card that helps Awaken as a 1-drop, and this is Beerus the Belligerent God. Now it's just like I said, blue doesn't really gain skills with this Awakeners at 1-drops. So like with this Beerus, it's take a card from life to go up to 15k. Well, this time it goes up to 20k, but this is only a bit is restricted though. So it's add 1 card from your life to your hand as the cost. And the rest of the auto is when this card attacks an opponent's battle card, you switch it to active mode and it gets 15k power for the battle. So you only get 15k for that battle, plus 15k to that battle, but you go up to 20k, and it's only when you take a battle card, which is quite handy because sometimes you want to get rid of your opponent's, control your opponent's board rather than attack the leader. Sometimes you don't want to attack the lead. You want to awaken, but you don't want to attack the leader to do it because you're not getting any skills at critical. But you do want to try and attack into the battle card, so this is quite handy to do that. Plus, it goes to a higher bit than a higher amount of power than most 1-drops that help you stop awakening, and it also allows you to stop awaken as well. And the last card for blue, because most of the other colours now, they have like 7 cards that are pretty good for cube. The last one is, like as I said, every card got a Realm of the Gods card, and blue also got one as well. So this is, I think it's a little bit, I think all of them draw apart from the green one, which we'll see in a bit. And this one's handy for just helping if your opponent drops things like bigger energy cost, which isn't that common. Once again, it's like having a second copy of the IARs. And that is it for blue. Then we go on to green. So with green is normally like a very strong colour in cube because most of its cards are quite generic and useful in the format. Like same with red, like blue is the one that really struggles in cube because it's got cards are good but not too good, which is a bit different than what it is like in competitive. But with green, we've started off with a really green in set 16 got quite a few good generic cards and some nice cards in it as well. Some cards that'd be really good for cube. The rest we got is the SR, one of the SRs being SS Kaioken Goku Might's Calling. So it's a 20k double striker. That's a 4 cost. It can be cheated out if you draft a green leader, and if this card's in combo in UK, one of your green battle cards kills an opponent's battle card, you play it from your combo area. You're not often going to choose that, but it's more the fact that, once again, as I said, cards in cube can be played using their actual printed cost, and it's not that much of a problem. And the good thing about this card is there's Everald, so when it attacks, you choose one. You either choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it, so you just swing, KO battle card, and keep that attack going as 20k double, or you make your opponents discard one instead. So if your opponent's got nothing on board, you can make him discard one. If they've got something on board you want to get rid of, you can pop it. So it's very versatile, and being a 0.5k means it's not then dead in hand if you tap out. Then another good one, and this is another new combo to play card that we got for green, and it's almost, you might say, like Warcry in the fact that it's a 3 cost 20k with a 2 cost 10k combo. So just like Warcry, you got to tap 2 to get a 10k combo on a battle, but it's got dual attack and it's got 2 autos. The first one is if you're playing in green and you have 3 or more energy, at the end of a battle, once this card was using a combo from your hand, you play this card from your drop area. So this gives a new combo to play card for green, and that plays a 20k dual attacker, and it doesn't come out of rest. You can be aggressive with it and bring it out to get more attacks in. Then his Ever also is pretty nice in the fact that once per turn, when this card attacks and KOs an opponent's battle card, your opponent chooses 1 card in hand and discards it. So it's really good in the fact that it doesn't have to be played with a green leader. You can still hardcast it for free and then attack into opponent's battle card to get that second auto off, or just get 2 20k swings off of it. But if you have green, you can cheat out easier, give him more power onto 1 attack, bring it out 1 energy cheaper, and then get 2 more attacks in with it, which is pretty nice. And then we got another super combo. I think each colour has got a super combo to add into it, apart from Multicolour. And this one's Margin Boot, which is just normal green, 4 life or less, but the more fact that is for the Universe 7 in green. So the Universe 7 now splits up a bit further in the colours, and also is a margin if that might be relevant in the future if they bring out more margin cards that are more generic and not archetype focused. Then we have SS Kaba, Wrathful Evolution. So we're getting some Universe 6 cards in green. I don't think we've got any with the green. We've got many in the green tag in green. I don't think we do. But this one's quite nice. That is a free cost 20k, so like Vegeta, it's not that difficult to cast it, and 20k critical is pretty good. And just like with the Goku, it's got the same similar thing. When it attacks, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards to KO it. So a lot more KOing and removal in green, which is quite nice, making it still a strong colour in cube. And it even has another auto where if this card is KO, you can choose it to one green Universe 6 card with entry cost of 4 in your hand and play it. And now there's not many cards to target, there's only one really target we're going to be putting in, and that is not this one, but another one. But we've got another Kaba, which we keep going into. Green also has in the set 16 some cards which allow them to attack battle cards in active mode as long as you don't have barrier, which gives another way to get rid of opponent's battle cards that keep not rested, to keep using effects like drawing or power reduction, things like that. And this Kaba here allows you to attack into those as long as they don't have barrier, which is nice. It's a 2 cost 10k, which is on curve, and it's got 2 autos. It's got a similar auto for the second one, the previous Kaba. It goes for these kind of effects go for playing the card being played from it being 1 cost higher than the printed card. So this will play out the Kaba from before, which would be the only target in the cube from these choices. But its first auto is quite nice. It's once again another self-help one that helps you self-awaken. It's add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, draw 1, then switch up to this card to active mode, and it gets 5k power for the battle. So it's again like we had with one of the, I think it was the Goten. This card can attack, then restand, but instead of restanding at the end of battle, just like the Beerus, Goten is more like the Beerus, where it untaps then and goes up to 15k for that first attack, but the second attack, because it only gains it for the battle, will be another 10k. But it still allows you to take a life to attack, become a 15k, but it also draws your card as well, so it's gaining you 2 cards, taking a life to help yourself awaken, which you might want, and also drawing a card from its effect. And then it restands, so if you want to keep it safe from your opponent, you can then have it then restand to use again for your next turn if your opponent doesn't get rid of it. So it's a pretty decent card. And now we'll get onto the card that you can bring out from the 3-drop Kaba, and that is Hit to Battle Universe 7. So once again, this is a very good one. We're going to ignore the activate main because it's not going to be relevant for the cube. It's more the fact that it's a 4 cost 20k double striker with barrier, and it's auto, which is when this card is played, you draw a card, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So more destruction and easier to play by hard casting it because it's got 2 green specified cost, so a very good addition. And if you do manage to draft these 3 cards together, if you can get them, draw them in a sequence, getting the 2-drop Kaba first, you can start cheating them out cheaper after they get killed. So if your opponent thinks they're getting rid of it and taking away cards that get attack, you can drop more to keep the chain going and make it so they haven't really done much. And wrong way. And then we've got the Realm of the Gods for green, being Champus Destroy. So as I said, they're all similar, where if you lead a card and all your energy is the same colour as the card itself, which doesn't have to be monocolour, it can be multicolour. It gets an effect, 1 kind of effect during your opponent's turn and 1 during your turn. And this is the one that doesn't draw on your opponent when it gets the opponent's turn effect, but instead it makes your opponent discard 1. So you're still getting advantage in some way. You're not drawing, you're making your opponent lose a card, which is pretty good. And yeah, every colour got one of these, and I've decided to put them all in. So that is it for the green. Now we go on to yellow. So we're almost at the end, and we're seeing there's quite a few cards. And once again, this is another card that has 7. So first off, we've got Son Goku facing Goku Black. This is one of a nice helpful searcher, because there's more and more yellow Saiyans coming out, and this is a nice one to look at the top 5 just from playing it. Look at top 5, and you get either grab a yellow Saiyan card with a specified cost of 4 or less, or 1 yellow Unison card with a specified cost of 1, which I think there is one copy at least, might be 2, I can't remember. I think there is at least 1, might be 2 in the cube that you can search for it. So quite good cards to search, and there's a few good yellow Saiyan cards in there as well. Because there's like the apes, the yellow apes, quite a few other good ones as well that you can search from it. So it's a nice utility searcher. And it also has activate main, which is a spirit boost one, meaning you have to remove a marker from Unison. So you have to have a Unison and remove a marker from it to get this effect, where you can choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, which energy card has 2 or less in rest mode, and KO it. And since yellow has an easy way to tap things down, it could be useful. It's more the first effect, the auto, that's going to be useful for a cube. Then we have once again another super combo, and once again another sparking one. So another sparking one for yellow. So if you can't awaken quick enough, or weren't able to draft enough yellow cards, or enough cards to help self-awaken, this can be used if you can get cards in the drop from comboing and stuff like that. Then we have another card similar to the counter of Vegeta that has a high specified cost. It's a free cost 19k with a free specified yellow cost. I mean, you've got to lean heavily into yellow to play this, but it's a very strong card. In fact, it's got barrier blocker. It also has an EX Evolve which can be pulled off in this. For 1 yellow you draw a card and then play it on top of a one cost yellow Trunks Future. And if you do use it by EX Evolving, you switch it to active mode. And it's also got an auto, where once per turn, if your leader card is a yellow Trunks Future, which there is a leader of that in the game. Oh no, so this auto won't trigger, so I just realised it's yellow Trunks Future card. But it's more the fact that there's a barrier blocker, 19k, which you can EX Evolve out for 1 energy if you get some yellow Trunks Future cards, which there are, I think there is at least 1 of in the cube that you can pull it off of. And just gives you a nice barrier blocker, which is hard to get rid of. Then we have another skillless Trunks card. So in the cube there is the set 10 Trunks, and there is the Tapion to go with it, Unison, that can free play a Trunks Future card that's 2 or less, like using its +1 skill, and this is never target, allowing you to go into blue-yellow if you wanted to, and being a skillless card as well to help with certain things. Then we have a nice new card that's actually pretty good for yellow, and that is SS Rose Goku Black feature in the line, and it's one that goes well if you get any overwhelm cards or just anything that warps. It's a permanent where it's also treated as blue, so while it's in the battle area it's also treated as blue, but anywhere else it's not, because the permanent doesn't say in all areas. Then there's an auto where limit 1, if your leader card is yellow, when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's non-leader cards, switch to rest mode. So that gives a bit more yellow, if you have a yellow leader, gives the option to help tap down energy if you need be, which isn't much in the cube, or tap down anything as long as it's not a leader. Then it's got 2 handy effects, first one being activate main. 1 energy, you send this card to a zone as warp, draw 1 card, then choose it to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and rest mode and KO it, so it gives you a bit of removal plus drawing with that. And even after that you can replay it back with his activate battle, where for 2 energy, if you have 2 or more blue and or yellow cards in your battle area and or combo area, play this card from your warp. So it's a nice bit of like synergy, bringing it back out, giving you removal and an energy. So it's a very strong card if you manage to grab hold of it. And then we have the Realm of the Gods for yellow. This one's a little bit easier to use because it only needs your leader card to be yellow, not all your energy as well. I think that was more thematic for the theme it was meant to go for in the Wish Zamasu deck. Since it's going to be a more multicolour deck, you might not always have yellow energy, you might have blue as well. So for this one it was just yellow, which is makes it a bit better, like a lot better than the other ones, because it doesn't need an energy requirement, just need to have yellow leader. But it's also really good, and that is a nice effect where it's basically like the other area, so it gets to draw on one of the effects, and as effect for your opponent's turn, your turn. And then we have the last one for it being Shadows Aligned for yellow. So this is one of those nice utility negates where you can either use it as a 1-drop negate to counter attack, negate the attack, or use it as a searcher, similar to Goku, where you look up to 7 cards on top of your deck, add it to 1 yellow saying with energy cost of 4 or less, among them to your hand, and shuffle your deck. So good bit of utility there. And that is it for yellow, and now we have the last little bit being the multicolour cards. So with the multicolour cards, there's a few of them. There's once again 7 of them, and they're quite useful and nice. It doesn't cover every single colour combination, but it does help some of them. So the first one we got is Beerus Combative Impulse. This is a nice interesting one. It's a 2 cost with double strike and 16k. 2 autos as well. First one is when it's played, choose it to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, which is the rest mode. This allows you to get over some of your opponent's battle cards, like if they got 1-drop cantrips they have kept on the board, they want to keep their inactive mode to gain advantage. You can play this to rest it, and then allowing you to swing into it. And its ever auto is when this card attacks and KOs the opponent's battle card, you then draw a card and then switch this card to active mode and place one card from your opponent's life at the bottom of her deck. So this is a nice card where if you get it out early, you can reduce your opponent's life. In a sense like offering, but instead of putting it to the drop, you put it to the bottom of the deck. So there's like a nice bit of burn added into it. Then we have Conic Angel Universe 4. So the deal with red yellow is that every multicolor has a keyword skill that is unique to that color combination. And for red yellow, it's Offering, which is a skill where it gives your opponent a choice where they can either place one card from the life and put in their drop area, and if they don't, you're allowed to draw 2 cards. But it isn't something that's on many cards or many playable cards outside of archetypes. So this one's a good one to add more Offering into the red-yellow cards. And given this is 2 costs, you can play it quite easily, just for 2 energy, just like we have with the Quinta and Connet, the Divine Multiverse Draftbox one. You can play it just like this. You're not going to use its auto because of the fact that it requires a multicolor energy, and for you to combo it, and it's going to be more costly than just hard casting it because of the fact that its combo cost is 2 specified cost, or 2 cost 10k combo, meaning you're going to be paying 3 to combo it in instead of just paying 2 to play it. But it just means that if you want to get this very strong Offering effect in this and have this in your deck, you got to watch out for its combo cost. And then we have Frost by Any Means Necessary. So this is one for blue-green. It's a 4 cost 20k. It's got triple attack, which gives you quite a few attacks for 4 energy, which is quite nice. So quite a bit of a value for its cost. It has a permanent as well, like I said with some of the green cards, where when this card can attack battle cards with a barrier in active mode, which means you can easily just clear your opponent's board, control it a bit more. And it has an auto as well, where once per turn, if this card's attack hasn't been negated, at the end of a battle in which this card will attack the battle card, you KO that card and choose one of your opponent's cards. Choose one card in your opponent's hand and discard it. So it's quite nice. So it's got 3 attacks for 4 energy, and can attack your opponent's battle cards in active mode. So leave things in active mode to keep hold of it. This can threaten those, and on the first one that isn't negated. So the first attack isn't negated. You KO that card even if they out combo it, and then you get the Ripper card from hand and you get to choose, so that's quite nice. So you take up their option of choice and it hits something at random that you pick by random. And then we have Kusu, Angel of Universe 10. So there was one for each angel in set 16 because it's Realm of the Gods, because there's the Grand Priest deck which revolved around the angel stuff. Not many of them were actually quite useful, were quite good, but I picked out the ones that I thought were quite decent, and this is one of them. This is the one for blue-green. Well, one of them for blue-green. So it's a counterplay, 2 cost 15k, and it's got 2 autos. So if you have one or more multicolor energy, when this card in your hand is played or used in a combo, your opponent chooses one card in the hand to place at the bottom of his deck. So a bit of hand control. And his other also is when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 6 or less and place at the bottom of his deck. So board control. So it's got a bit of hand board control for both its effects, but you got to watch out when comboing it and using it as a combo as well, because its combo cost is 1 cost 5k. So not as powerful, but not as overcosted like Conic is. Then we have Whis Universe, Angel Universe 7. So it has the same combo cost as Conic, but you're not going to worry about any of its skills apart from its counter attack, because it's a 2 cost 10k. It's got counter attack, which is negate the attack and play this card, and it also has blocker. So it's very useful if you're going for the red blue build, because it's for 2 energy. You can block, negate an attack, and then have it on board to the block with as well. But if you do want to use it as a combo, it does have an auto when this card is used in a combo from your hand, switch it to one of your energy to active mode. And if you do go, you do get rewarded though if you do go for a quad color deck, because of its permanent, where if there are 4 or more colors in your energy, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding a card from your left to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. So you get a free negate and block if you go for a quad color route, which is something you can go for, but it's a little bit less consistent for you. And then we have Margarita. So this is the Angel Universe 11, sorry, and this is a pretty nice one. It's got the same kind of auto, similar kind of auto as Kuzu in the first one, but instead of putting it to the bottom, instead of your opponent putting it to the bottom of the deck from the hand, they discard it to the drop. It also has barrier blocker as well, so it's going to be hard to remove and interact with. and also you can use it defensively if you would. And it's a pretty good card for the yellow Jiren lead as well, to help make its activate battle on its Awakened side live. It also does have a really nice auto for its second one, being limit 1, meaning you can only use it once a turn. And it is when your opponent plays a battle card using a skill or activates a counter skill, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch this card to active mode, as well as switch it to rest mode. So basically means if your opponent tries to cheat anything out, or play or negate anything on any attacks or do any counters on your turn or either turn, you can rest one of your opponent's battle cards once a turn, which is quite nice. So it gives you a nice bit of control there, and is really handy for keeping that control going. So it's got a bit of hand destruction and a bit of resting, good things that is both of its colours are known for. Then the last card for this, and the last card of Multicolour, is SSG Vegeta Divine Restraint. So this is a quite nice card in the fact that it serves as both a check land and a good counterplay. It's a 2 cost 10k and is red blue as well, so it's got a one red, one blue specified cost. And like all Multicolours, it has energy exhaust. And it has 3 good effects. First one being its counterplay, where you play this card, and if the battle card being played has 20k power or less, it's placed at the bottom of his owner's deck instead. So if your opponent tries to play anything with 20k power, for 2 energy you can stop that and make it go to the bottom of the deck instead. And being at the bottom of his deck means it's hard to go through, because they've got to go through the entire deck to try and find it. And then why I say it's a check land is because of its first permanent, where if all your opponent's energy is in rest mode, you negate this card's energy exhaust skill in all areas. So if you're getting against someone and you have this on your opening turn, and they go first, they charge an energy. If they charge a rest energy, or charge an energy and use it to do something, you now have for your first turn just go charge this in active mode without worrying about it being rest, and still get use your energy as much as you want, which is quite nice. Or even if someone taps out and it comes to your charge phase, you can charge this without worrying about it coming in rest mode. And the later the game goes on, the more powerful this card gets because of its second permanent, where it gains 3,000 power for each card in your energy. So the more you charge, the more powerful it gets to be. So you can have it as if you get to 5 energy, it becomes down as a 2 cost 25k, and you only get stronger the more energy you go. So I feel that's a really good one for the cube, and probably will definitely go into my cube in an update. Speaking of updates though, I will try and get a cube list update going over my list again, updated with up to set 16, and also I might be able to now, given we've got enough cards, be able to update it so it can be 15 cards in each pack. So once again, thank you for watching my video. I'm trying to make sure we have cube draft stuff available for everybody who's interested in cube draft and likes it in the Dragon Ball Super card game. Feel free to like the video if you enjoyed it or you find this useful, and also comment below if you have any questions or anything you want to discuss, or any suggestions for cube drafts, or any cards I didn't go over, and I'll be free to discuss it and get into conversation about it. Also feel free to subscribe, keeps you updated with my videos when they drop, and also helps me get to my goal of 1,000 subs, which I am currently just over a quarter way there. And also if you do subscribe, you can click the notification bell to get a notification when my videos drop as well. So once again, thank you for watching, enjoy cube drafting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.